What up, people? It's your boy. I'm back with another episode of Just My Opinion podcast, episode 7. Uh, we're gonna be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. Oh my God, the Los Angeles Fakers. Man, these guys, boy, they lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves last week. And then they turned around and lost to the Chicago Bulls. I mean, they just can't catch a break. Uh, and there's a lot of speculation in La La Land that they're not too pleased or not too happy with their mid-season acquisitions. All right. All of these players that they gave up, they basically done gave up their future for the they gave up their future draft picks. They also gave up a lot of talented players that could have contributed and helped the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, would they would have helped them get that championship a couple of seasons ago? Possibly, maybe. But you have to understand that the Los Angeles Lakers and Magic Johnson, they had to make a big splash in free agency. They picked up well, with the trade. They did a big splash with the trade for Anthony Davis, and they had to give up quite a lot to get the services of Anthony Davis. And even with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, that still was not enough for the Los Angeles Lakers. And they're now regretting it. Okay, so let's get into today's topic. All right, so last night game proved a lot of things. A lot of people gave the Los Angeles Lakers a whole bunch of excuses. Just wait until the majority of their role players come back into the fold of things and contribute and help to the Los Angeles Lakers. Some of those players came back and they're still losing. All right. Then you had people saying, well, you wait until Russell Westbrook gets some playing time with his new with his new teammates with the Los Angeles Lakers. Just wait. It's going to happen. You just wait. There's a reason why they traded for Russell Westbrook, and that's proving a dud. Well, just you wait. They're tinkering with the lineup, and when they find the right combination of players, then the Los Angeles Lakers are going to be all right. And that didn't materialize. And now they're saying, well, just you wait. When LeBron comes back, things are going to be back to normal. They're gonna win and they're gonna compete and contend for the NBA title. And there's a growing speculation that LeBron may come back this upcoming Friday when they play the Boston Celtics. I'm here to tell you guys, if LeBron had his choice, he's going to wait until the weekend. If he's somewhat close to healthy, if he's 95% healthy, I don't think he's going to start his first game back in a long time since he got injured. He's going to play the Boston Celtics, okay? Because the Boston Celtics are, that's not an easy scratch for the Los Angeles Lakers, all right? The Boston Celtics, even though they're not playing good, all right, and they have troubles over there with the Boston Celtics, getting Jason Tatum and getting others involved. They're saying Jason Tatum's shooting way too much, and I somewhat co-signed to that. I felt like a lot of people promoted Jason Tatum as this superstar, this elite superstar for the NBA, and he hasn't done anything to garner that. They just sort of just gave it to him. But that's how this new NBA work. It's not about what you bring to the court. It's how big of an influence you are on social media, or you are a fan favorite, and then next thing you know, you're they're quoting you, and they're considering you the next great one. Okay, so or an elite superstar. Okay, but nevertheless, I don't see LeBron James coming back. Um, I don't see LeBron James coming back. If he does come back early, he's not going to come back on his first game with the Boston Celtics. If he does come back this week, he'll probably come before that game or after that game, probably over the weekend, or maybe he'll probably wait and start coming back in the beginning of next week. Because remember, they are on a road trip out east, and they're going to be playing a lot of teams out east, and a lot of those teams are light work. They should have no. The Lakers should have no problem contending and competing against these teams. The Los Angeles Lakers should have no problem, even without LeBron James, even without the services of LeBron James. They should not have a problem with these teams. Uh, you know, and they should be able to win with the talent that they have. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that's easier said than done. But remember, the Los Angeles Lakers, have you noticed what they have on their squad? They got Russell Westbrook, who's a Hall of Famer, who have done a lot of things and crazy things. Everyone consider him a superstar. Okay. Then you got Carmelo Anthony, and he's been playing good. He's been playing top notch for the Los Angeles Lakers. And he's a Hall of Famer. You got Dwight Howard, who's a role player. He's not the Dwight Howard that was a difference maker or was a franchise player for the Orlando Magic, but he's still a serviceable role player, and he too is a Hall of Famer. Then you have Rondo. He's not the same Rondo that you're not getting the same Rondo that competed with the Boston Celtics, won championships with the Boston Celtics. He's not that Rondo, but Rondo is still an elite player. Well, not an elite player, but he's going to be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. And with his high basketball IQ, that can contribute for the Los Angeles Lakers. All right. Then you got Anthony Davis, who too is going to be a Hall of Famer, has already won a chip. He's in his prime. So, if you look at the talent that the Los Angeles Lakers have, they should have no problem with teams like the Minnesota Timberwolves. They should have no problems with the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics just put that team together, and that team has not, played together in a long period of time. Now, I know Russell Westbrook was traded to the Lakers, but Dwight Howard has been with that roster, the same roster. He has played with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and they won a title. Okay. And Carmelo Anthony is familiar with these players as well. So is Rondo. So you would think going in that game against the Boston Celtics, the Los Angeles Lakers, even without LeBron James, they should have at least kept the game close or had an opportunity to win the game. All right. But that did not happen. A lot of things transpired from that game, and I took notes from that game. I watched that game from start to finish, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why the Los Angeles Lakers are struggling. And one of the reasons why the Los Angeles Lakers is struggling is, one, Anthony Davis. Now, I don't know if the coaching staff is too scared to tell Anthony Davis. I don't know if LeBron James is not aware of this, or he's placating to Anthony Davis just to make him happy. But there's several things wrong with the Los Angeles Lakers, all right? And one of these things, if they can just talk to Anthony Davis, is Anthony Davis has to be committed at the 5 spot. Okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, it's one thing if you already have a traditional center on your roster, then you can float Anthony Davis at the 4, maybe at the 3 sometimes. But Anthony Davis is their center. All right. They don't have anyone else in their prime that's young enough to take the 5 spot. So if Anthony Davis can commit himself and commit real hard as being a center, being the anchor down low, instead of floating around trying to get perimeter shots and 3-point shots, if he just concentrate on being a center, that could really help and benefit the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay. Another thing that can help and benefit the Los Angeles Lakers is, I don't know if the coaching staff, once again, I don't know if the coaching staff is scared to tell this individual. I don't know if LeBron James is aware of it or he too is placating to this individual. But Russell Westbrook needs to play off the ball. All right. Russell Westbrook as your decision maker, as your floor general, as your point guard is terrible. All right. Now, there is a stat out there, and I told you guys about this stat last week, that Russell Westbrook and LeBron James, they turn over the ball a lot. Okay. But the only difference is LeBron James got a resume and championships to hide that fact, and Russell Westbrook doesn't. Okay. But nevertheless, if Russell Westbrook plays more the 2, that can help and benefit the Los Angeles Lakers. And I saw them trying to do that, having Russell Westbrook play the 2 sometimes and having Rondo play the point. All right. Because Rondo's decision making is spot on, is better. His IQ basketball level is better than Russell Westbrook. All right. And I feel like they're exploring this, hoping that this works. So when LeBron James does come back, maybe they'll have a combination where LeBron plays the point, Russell plays the 2, and Carmelo Anthony, you get him off the bench, let him play the 3. All right. And that's another reason why I feel like if the Lakers quit placating these players, quit babying these players, and just call it for what it is, if everyone just follow their role, this could be a very good basketball team. All right. Another thing that can help the Los Angeles Lakers is to slow down the tempo. Okay. You got a lot of old veterans for the Los Angeles Lakers. You don't have a bunch of young bucks. All right. Now they're in their 30s. They're fairly young, but in basketball age, they're old. All right. So what do you do? Well, how can you help and contribute a veteran basketball team? All right. I'm going to tell you how you can help them. You can help them simply by slowing it down, playing slow tempo, half court game. All right. Play half court defense and mix in some zone. This can help and contribute an old aging veteran team. All right. It limits the injuries. It limits you playing them all the time. All right. And this could help the Los Angeles Lakers. All right. Another thing that could really help the Los Angeles Lakers, the coaching staff is going to have to man up. LeBron James is going to have to start placating and babying these players and call it like they see it. They're going to have to toughen up. Okay? They're going to have to galvanize these players together. And I have seen in numerous occasions where they give up their assignment. They don't help if they're playing defense and the defender gets past one of the guys. Nobody don't try to help. There's no help defense. And if it is help defense, it's very slow, super slow. Okay. And my thing of it is LeBron and the coaching staff is going to have to become better leaders. All right. It's one thing to pat people on the back and tell them everything's all good in the hood and tell them, whisper sweet nothings in their ear, pillow talk them to death. That's one thing. Another part of being a leader is responsibility. Sometimes you have to get tough being the leader. All right. You have to channel your black mama in these dark times. You're going to have to channel your Michael Jordan in these tough times. Sometimes you got to get tough with your teammates. And LeBron James and the coaching staff is going to have to man up and get a little tough. All right. It's nothing personal. We're trying to win a championship here. Okay. Nothing personal. But I feel like all of these things can contribute and help the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, you know what the Los Angeles Lakers should do? They should just trade Russell Westbrook. This is a failed science experiment that went wrong in the worst way. This is not going to get any better. And the problem with that is, folks, the Los Angeles Lakers are in the same situation as the Houston Rockets with John Wall. The Houston Rockets would love to trade John Wall to any team that wants him. But you know what the problem is? Nobody wants John Wall. Now, they would love to have John Wall's talent, but they don't want John Wall's salary, okay? And same thing that's going on with Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook has a contract that nobody wants to take. Plus, on top of that, when you look at Russell Westbrook and what he brings to a team, it's not contributing to a team with the wins. It's contributing to a team with the losses, all right? If you have a Russell Westbrook and if you already have a plan in place, you might as well 88 that plan if you have Russell Westbrook on your team. Now, there's no quick formula or no quick remedy that can solve the Los Angeles Lakers problems. Trading Russell Westbrook is not on the table. Firing the head coach is not on the table. The Los Angeles Lakers front office paid way too much money for these acquisitions. And they done invested way too much money and time with the players that they already done re-signed over the summer and the summer before that. You already got Vogue. So there's no quick solution to the Lakers' problem. Trading a player away is just not on the resume. Firing a player firing a coach it's not going to happen. It's not going to make your team any better. So you're going to have to deal with what the problems that you have, okay? It's just that easy, and it's just that simple. Now, I feel like if the Lakers slow it down, get tough with these players, let these players know that this is not going to get any better, and sometimes you're going to have to, and I've seen LeBron as well as I've seen LeBron attempt to do this, get into players' faces. Earlier in this season, I saw him get at Russell Westbrook. I've seen Russell Westbrook get at LeBron James. All right. So there have been phases where they've been showing accountability. There have been phases where they have to, get tough with the players. All right. But you have to consistently do that. And I feel like LeBron has been injured all this time. I really thought LeBron, sitting on the bench and with the bird seat as a coach, saying, okay, I'm not on the floor, but I still have this high IQ for basketball. I'm still the leader of the Los Angeles Lakers, even though he wants to give that leadership and that responsibility to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has crashed and burned as becoming, he just not qualified, and he just not decorated for people to listen to. All right. He got into it with Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard didn't like some things he said. He didn't like some certain things Dwight Howard said, and they were fighting on the court. And that's a telltale sign of failed leadership, of a lack of communication and a lack of respect. Okay. If you're fighting your teammates in a game, not in the locker room, but in a game, that doesn't hold very well for you. Okay. So as far as Anthony Davis, I know LeBron James wants Anthony Davis to take more responsibility. I know LeBron James wants Anthony Davis to be the leader for the Lakers, but his time it's just not there yet. It's just simply not there yet. Okay. I still feel like LeBron James should still be the leader, should hold accountability to everyone over there, and I also feel like LeBron James should uh, LeBron James should be the leader. He should be the voice for the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay. Here's my thing. The season is too young to just give up like that. The season is too young. Even though they're 7-8, I believe, they got enough time in front of them and a lot of games in front of them to overcome this. Okay. All they need is a couple of winning streaks and they're back on the block. They're the ish. Everyone will be talking about the possibility of them winning a title, but it has to turn. It has to not only gradually turn, but you have to see it pointing in the right direction. And as of right now, with this handful of games, you just don't see it pointing in the right direction. And like I said in my last live stream and in my video, LeBron James, I have seen this song and dance with LeBron James when LeBron James was in Cleveland and he picked the players he wanted. Okay. He was treating it like NBA 2K, and he wanted Derrick Rose. He wanted Dwayne Wade when he was out of his prime. He had that max money for Chicago. And then they got him from Chicago to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then, the trade that involved Kyrie Irving. They gave up Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving went to Boston because Kyrie Irving felt like he's the man and he should have his own team. And in return, they got Isaiah Thomas. Okay, none of that stuff stuck or worked for LeBron James. And what did the front office have to do? They had to trade these players that were not really contributing very well for LeBron James. And they got players that fit LeBron James' style, that fit LeBron James' talent, that fit a lot better. Okay. Even though LeBron didn't take that team to the finals, okay, he got that team into the playoffs. All right. And the rest they say is history. Okay. But they had to give up on those players that LeBron James wanted. They had, had to give up on Isaiah Thomas because it just did not work. That Isaiah Thomas deal was more so of the front office organization trying to save face because Kyrie Irving did not want to play with LeBron James. Okay. And, but that era reminded me of what's transpiring and what's going on with the Lakers today. All right. You just look in basketball, there's only one basketball. And when you pick your players, you have to treat players like ingredients. To make a great meal, you have to pick the right ingredients. Not all ingredients fit wonderful. Okay. You have to carefully select your ingredients. And I feel like the Lakers and I feel like the front office of the Lakers deserve criticism and blame for this. I feel like LeBron James deserve blame and criticism for this on the selection of the players that they have picked this offseason. And they sort of had a mix. I feel like the front office was high on these players. I feel like LeBron James was high on these players. And when you got different ideals and the ideals really don't fit together, it's a recipe for disaster. Okay. is simply a recipe for disaster. I feel like Dwight Howard was a front office decision. Even though LeBron James was not mad about this, but I feel like that was more of a front office decision of getting Dwight Howard and Rondo back. Even though LeBron James co-signed that and he agreed as well, I felt like that was mainly a front office deal. But then when you start adding those, and the reason why they select those players because those players worked for them as far as getting a championship. Uh, even though that was a shortened season and they played inside the bubble, they got a championship for that. Right. And I feel like that's the combination of the front office and LeBron James. But I feel like LeBron James wanted Russell Westbrook. Okay, he wanted to make a big splash over the summer. So they traded for Russell Westbrook. I feel like that was more so LeBron James. The front office gave its blessing because they wanted to satisfy LeBron James. So they got Russell Westbrook, even though there were other players that they could have picked up that could have contributed and helped the Lakers even more, but that's neither here nor there. Anthony Davis, like I said earlier in this live stream, has really helped the Lakers, okay? And it's not a bad fit, but that overall is not helping the team win more ball games. Okay, I'm not saying he's bad for the Lakers, but what I am saying is he just did not fit well for the Los Angeles Lakers, all right? In my opinion, he's not really, he's coming off the bench. He's giving you he's giving you the opportunity to create that last shot or those tight, tough shots. He's doing that for you, but what else is Anthony Davis doing for you as well? I'm not saying it was a bad pick, but what I am saying is in the bigger scheme, how much is he really contributing to the Lakers getting more W's? Not that much, okay? But Russell Westbrook is not contributing to the Los Angeles Lakers getting W's thus far. Like I said, this is a young season, and this stuff can change overnight. The Lakers could their next game, they can just start winning ball games. They can get on a nice winning streak, a nice 20-game winning streak or a 10-game winning streak or a couple of 10-game winning streaks, and they're back on top of things. They're just simply back on top of things. But as of right now, they're not. Okay? So I feel like a lot of these selections, I feel like the front office is regretting some of these decisions, but they're stuck in a position where they can't get rid of these players. All right. Nobody wants a Russell Westbrook. Nobody wants a Carmelo Anthony. Nobody wants a Rondo. Okay. The only players that they may be interested in are the players that the Lakers don't want to give up on, which is LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And another thing, I feel like Anthony Davis, they've been catering Anthony Davis for quite some time now, been babying him, been placating him. And I feel like Anthony Davis should be playing the 5. If anything, should be playing the 4, okay? And he should be down in the post more. But the Los Angeles Lakers is treating Anthony Davis with kid gloves. They don't want to get him mad or get him upset, and they're letting him explore opportunities of getting perimeter shots, setting them up for perimeter shots, for setting up 3-point shots. So the same thing like Joel Embiid. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why the Philadelphia 76ers is not going anywhere, okay? Because you have to utilize Joel Embiid for the post. He can dominate the post, but he's hardly ever on the post. And I feel like the same thing could be true for an Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis wants to take perimeter shots. He doesn't want to go down the post. And having a big man down post would do wonders for a team that doesn't have that much talent, that's a little bit too top heavy, or a veteran older team that can slow the tempo down and have somebody down there to get offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. All right, Dwight Howard is simply not enough. Okay, it just isn't. All right, so yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. For Just My Opinion podcast. I believe this is episode 6 or 7. I'll mark it a little bit later on, but I hope y'all guys enjoyed this. Please feel free to hit the like button, the subscription button, the notification bell. Do not forget to share this live stream or share this video with your friends, family, and followers. It's your boy, the host with the most. I'm up out of here. Deuces.